Happy Wednesday, or whatever day of the week it is for you. I am testing out Syllables, a new software on AppSumo that promises to help us take our content and turn it into ebooks, flipbooks, audiobooks, podcasts, and helps us with design. So, for this particular video, I am going to take a book I wrote that's published on Amazon that I never actually turned into an ebook. It's just that you can only get it in hard copy. So, this is an opportunity to see how this works with converting that content into an ebook. And then we'll take that ebook, turn it into a flip book, and then take the content from the ebook and turn it into an audiobook. So let's see how this goes. And for the record, I am currently using FlexClip to record my screen, which is also a tool that is on AppSumo. Here we are. So I'm going to start with brand voice. You can see on the left-hand side here, you can create a new project and jump right in. You can create your brand voice, humanize content that you've created. They have integrations with all of the major LLMs. Here's where you can create designs, and that's what we saw on that home page or the dashboard. Here's where all your files get stored. Anything that is in draft lives here. And here are the settings, which are pretty straightforward: your account login information, your plan settings. I'm going to add my brand voice from my personal website, drmartin.io, generate brand voice. And here's what it had to say about my brand voice. The brand voice of drmartin.io is warm, empowering, and insightful, characterized by a focus on resilience, leadership, and justice for purpose-driven organizations. And it ultimately ends with: the style is conversational yet authoritative, ensuring accessibility while positioning Dr. Martin as a respected role model. So that's what it had to say about my website. I'm going to call this drmartin.io, and I'm going to make this the default, create brand voice. So now I have a brand voice that is active. I am going to go back to the home page. Let's do the ebook first. I'm just going to use this cover for now. I'm going to upload my book. There we go. So the book is called We Are the Question and the Answer. I'm going to hit continue. Keep it in English. Oh, US. Now it's asking if I want to regenerate with AI or start manual. Now it's a completed book, so I'm going to click start manual and see if it will just bring in the content of the book. That was fast. Oh, there was an error message that popped up on the screen. I'll have to take a closer look at what that error message said. The formatting of the cover is kind of sketch. It's a little off the page and all that, but this is all customizable, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. It did not bring the content in properly. It took the imprint page from the book and made it chapter 1. I'm not sure why it did that. This continues. It combined the dedication and the beginning of the table of contents into a single page, even though in the PDF I uploaded, it was not structured or formatted this way. Let's skip down to the actual content. There's the introduction. The page numbers are all messed up. Okay. So this would require quite a bit of going through one-off and formatting. We can go through the process one more time and ask for the AI assistance and see what it comes up with. At this stage, all of this content would need to be manually formatted. We're talking about quite a few pages here. So that will not be happening in this video. However, this is what happens if you upload a PDF. The formatting doesn't translate well. I'm going to just save it. Here we are back on the dashboard. Going to go to ebook. I think I found the Word document we can use. I'm going to do the start manual again. I'm going to do manual again just to see what happens. So that error message popped up about the offset, which I think is related to this text here. It still did that weird chapter 1 thing again, which it looks like it's a default setting, but we can change it by adding chapters. The formatting is a lot better. Not for the sources, though. The sources look terrible. Oh, wait, that's a table, I believe. Here are the sources. The sources don't look too bad, but they blend in with the next chapter. So it doesn't do good at reading the pagination or the page breaks for each of the documents that get uploaded, whether they are in PDF format or Word format. Now, I'm going to save that and go back. We're going to do this one more time, but this time we're going to use the AI. This time I'll make it different, a different kind of cover. We're going to upload the Word document. We're going to regenerate with AI with the brand voice that I selected. That allows you to choose the model that you want. It doesn't have the latest Gemini models. Doesn't have the latest OpenAI models or the latest Claude models. But for our purposes, we will use the Claude Sonnet 4.5. We're going to humanize the content. And I'm going to hit submit and see what happens. I started the timer. Let's see how long it takes if you use AI. After 10 minutes of waiting, an error message popped up on the screen. I couldn't read it because it popped up and then disappeared so fast, and there were 2 error messages, but I couldn't read them to understand what happened. So basically, after 10 minutes, we got nothing. That's not helpful. I'm not going to do it again. I actually want to see if I lost any credits, if it actually went towards my creation count, even though it didn't go through. That was kind of a fail. I'm going to go into the Word doc again to see if there's anything salvageable in there. So it looks like you can select the chapter and you can move it just along the page. So that's interesting. Oh, there's a delete button there. There we go. So now there's no more chapter 1. Oh, oops. I think I just messed that up. It just totally, by me clicking that button, it took all 200 plus pages and just generated this one chapter that's only a page and a few sentences and has the dreaded M dashes in it. This is not usable in its current format. It would take a lot of manual work to clean this up. And even so, it's hard to do it in a way where you can make sure that there's exact spacing between paragraphs because there's no grid lines or snapping to let you know if you're centered, if there's consistent spacing between each paragraph. Okay, so that was a fail, y'all. That was a fail. So they got some work to do on getting this together. I'm not going to save it. I'm going to go out and see if I come back in if all of my pages were lost that I imported in. Yes, they are permanently lost. So I would have to re-import the pages. With that said, it doesn't stop us from finalizing our testing. So let's look at convert to flipbook. That seemed to be pretty straightforward. It's very short, so it was kind of an easy one. I'll save it. Let's try it with the longer text. This, I don't know why that's published. Let's try it with this one. Oh, you can't just click on it to open it. You have to go to the 3 dots. Not sure why it has to process what we've already processed. And there's that error message again, and there's this text being left over there off the screen. Not sure what that's about. Let's convert this one to a flipbook as it is and see how long that takes. Now, if all I could use it for was creating flipbooks, I just will return it because there've already been tools on AppSumo that we've purchased that can do that. And then the last thing we'll test is the audiobook, and we'll use the shorter version to test the audiobook to see so that we can get quicker results and see what happens. This is taking significantly longer, obviously, because there's more content to generate the flip book. Okay, here is our flip book. It's not bad. It's pretty basic. It has a weird glossy look to the page when it turns. And there's different types of page flip effects. Book, magazine. Let's see what notebook is like. Looks the same to me. magazine. I'm not seeing the difference between the flip effects slider. That's the only one where there seemed to be any real difference in cover flow. It's just like the slider, except the pages that are before and after the primary page are at an angle. I mean, it's a different look. It's kind of cool, but not for reading a whole book, maybe for like a quick report that you want to embed on your website. Speaking of that, if I share it, so you can do a share link, but it doesn't look like you can embed it on your website. There is a way to create an iframe around it and try it out anyways. But I'll be honest, for this tool, it's not worth really trying because we haven't been able to get it to work. So I am going to go back to the main dashboard so I can grab this one. Can I only access it as a flipbook now? Oh, here we go. Convert to audiobook. So here's the third test we wanted to do. We're going to make it conversational. I don't know where they got these names from, but maybe they're working on getting them all in here and they're just making them up as they go. Vendomiatrix. Don't know what's going on with these voice names, but okay. We're going to generate all. Speed is required. Okay. Let's do like a 1.25 to speed it up a little bit. Now let's just start with 1 so we know what it baseline sounds like. It didn't take too long. It just took about a minute. But think about if it was the full book, there were over 200 pages. Would that have taken an hour or more had the content been longer? I guess we're going to find out. But for now, let's see how it did. The audiobook wasn't terrible. The voice, the voices aren't terrible. It does sound a bit robotic, has that tinny kind of sound to it. But, if you need to bang one out, then there you go. You can get yourself an audiobook done with this. But there are so many other tools that can do this as well. I think the thing that was attractive about Syllables is that it created a unified workflow for you to go from content or research or idea to completed ebook to flipbook to audiobook. And as it stands, this ebook part needs a lot of work. Let's see how long it takes to create an ebook with the longer content, or if it will even work since we couldn't get the AI generation to work. And we'll use a different voice. There we go. 1. Let's generate all. No valid content. Wait, no valid content available for audio generation. I don't know how that's possible. This is the long one. So let's just double check the assumption. Yeah, I'm not sure how this one doesn't have any content. So that is problematic. So here's the deal. Syllables has a lot of work to do in order to become a viable tool that we can use. It's promising in its concept, but the execution leaves a lot to be desired. Very disappointed. I actually had a use case that this would have been perfect for, but I couldn't get past the ebook stage. We tested the flipbooks, that worked pretty decently. There's one thing to have some bugs in your tool that you're rolling out on AppSumo because it's newer, but some of the challenges that we face are things that should have been taken care of through their own internal quality assurance, quality control processes. So this is unfortunate because it really does have an amazing concept for folks like us who have businesses and other types of organizations, like in my case, nonprofit, who are in all these different spaces and worlds and probably have content that we can put together for ebooks and other products that are in here, the flipbooks, the audiobooks, even podcasts. But unfortunately, there's just too many bugs and we weren't able to really get through it all to test everything. So that is syllables. Unfortunately, we sometimes get tools that aren't baked enough for us to really use well. As always, sending you so much love, hope, and intentional action. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next time.